get emails from my daughter saying that she's hungry, she needs money, and I get no help from the State Department.
Japanese police arrested him before he could make it to the U.S. Embassy. He's now facing charges of abduction.
Since then, has spent more than 40 days in detention in a cell with lights on 24 hours a day.
More than 400 U.S. children kidnapped to Japan since 1994, and the government of Japan has not returned a single American child.
In a country that's never, ever returned a child to any foreign country.
Japan is gaining an unwanted reputation as a black hole for international child abductions.
I believe the present system actually rewards people who are doing serious harm to children.
被害に遭っているのが何より子供。その子供のために法制度を整えていかなきゃいけない。
Japan has to do the right thing.
この問題に関しては結構聞かれているんですけども、それは不思議じゃないです。誰にとっても重要です。もしも将来日本人と結婚する、または子供を作る方なら、ただ本編に行く前に言っておきたいことがあります。これはすごく複雑な問題で、状況によって本当にいろんなケースがあるんですね。やはり一つの動画だけで全てをカバーするというのは無理だと思います。なのですいません。取りこぼしているところが結構あると思います。ただですね、専門家、そして実際に子供を取られた親たちの意見をもとに、この問題のキーとなる部分を少し知っていただけたら幸いです。
So in my own personal case, I had legal custody here where I'm located in the Seattle area in the United States, and my ex-wife had visitation time. With that, that meant she had a set schedule every week. It was my commitment that she was able to see our son. She was actually not supposed to leave our state and wasn't supposed to have a passport for him. But this was not an agreement that was forced on her. She voluntarily agreed to the terms that we mediated. Unfortunately, she decided she wanted to kidnap him. A couple of years after the kidnapping, she filed in the Japanese courts to try and get the court there to give her custody. Very long process, and within it, finally won our case. The court there recognized she had admitted that she committed passport fraud. She lied to obtain the passport, which is a crime in Japan. The consulate there in Portland actually gave me a copy of the statute, the law in Japanese. She also admitted that she had committed forgery. She had signed my name on the family registration, claiming that we agreed that she had custody, which wasn't true. And so the court forced her to change that back to what it originally said, that we were simply divorced. Mochi, our son, Atomu, still had rights to be with both his parents. And they also even acknowledged that the order in the United States had legal effect in Japan, but she said you should still get your ex-wife's permission. So this is part of the great challenge. Lack of enforcement of any kind of legal ruling. Family law system in Japan and the Japanese government has given all control and power to the kidnappers. They allow the person that has the child or children, often a kidnapping parent with the domestic cases too, to decide whether to ignore what the court has ordered.
So it's only 30% actually, which means 70% of them were just ignored because it's not enforced in Japan, but more like voluntarily handover actually. And the kidnapper parent can refuse your request easily. As you might already know, Japan finally signed this in 2014, and this seems a big progress, right? But the enforcement still doesn't happen, so it's kind of meaningless.
The biggest issue with The Hague is enforcement. Even though you have what we call a written order, a written ruling is not going to be executed. On a paper base, you can win a case, but you will never be able to meet your children again. The victim has to go to Japan, knock on the door of the abductor, and you have to make a request if they could comply with the ruling. If the abductor refuses, there is nothing you can do. So it's not enforcement. If it's in France, the police is going to come to pick up the kids because you have to comply with law. So there is no real enforcement in Japan.
So they can ignore completely.
Exactly. They can ignore and no penalty.
I've been involved in this child abduction issue in Japan for 12 years. I'm sure more than 200 cases, actually talking to parents. And those could be within Japan or international cases where the parent lives outside of Japan. The research that I've done indicates in Japan right now, there would be an estimated 3 million children in Japan who do not have contact or access with their other parent. after divorce. Each of those cases is a human rights violation, but this is happening all the time in Japan after divorce in family court, or even prior to, during separation. There isn't a good legal framework to enforce visitation. And these are actually issues that are being discussed in the government with Diet members and the Minister of Justice these days, right now, very recently.
The only success cases we have are based on voluntary return. It's not due to enforcement. Taking the worst case scenario, you could be the sole living biological parent and you could have ruling on your favor from Japanese court. You still won't have access to your children.
残念ながら取り返したという例はほとんど聞かないです。成功したねなんて話は、面会交流で1泊2日取れたのかね。私も最初当事者になった時に1泊2日月1回ですよ。面会を取るのが至難の技かっていうのは私も身に染みて分かりました。会えるようになったのが1年半会わせてもらえなかったですかね。DV とかそういうこと一切なかったと。夫婦の間で。で子供は両親ともに慕っていると。当然養育費とか全部言われた通りの支払いですよ。これでも会えてるだけ良いって言われるんですよ。もう10年会えてないなって人とかもいっぱいいますから。
To be fair, there is a change recently after a lot of criticism towards the current system. And now, finally it could happen without both parents being there. But this took into effect just recently, so we have to wait to see that it's actually working.
1 year and 3 months ago, I came home from work one day. He had stolen a lot of the furniture from the house and he had taken the children and moved out. He stole the car. I couldn't live in my house almost. He stole the washing machine and the microwave. So I had no saucepans. I contacted my lawyers and they said nothing we can do, and the police said nothing we can do. So the Tokyo Family Court made the decision we don't recommend the children meet their mother. For 15 years, nobody had a problem with me living with my children. Suddenly, did I become dangerous because my husband took the children? No, my husband became dangerous. My husband moved out, he came back. He bullied me, he tormented me for an entire year, and he told me to go back to Australia many times. He ignored me, he told the children to ignore me, he was rude to me. I went through a year of hell. And then at the end of it, my children got taken.
There's, I think, a misperception or misunderstanding. People think, oh, the children always go with the mothers. Actually, I know a lot of mothers who have no access. Or they always go to the Japanese parent. Well, it depends on the circumstances. Sometimes the foreign parent might be the parent who has custody.
It just doesn't make any sense, and nobody in Japan can help me. There's no system or process to help me or the children. I had no problems with my relationship with my children, but he damaged my relationship with my children. The court doesn't care. They don't want to know. All the court thinks is, well, now the children are with him. So then the court's like, okay, he can do whatever he wants. She has nothing and I can't even meet my children.
The breakdown of a marriage, they move toward getting divorced. They go to family court in Japan. Almost all the time, the parent who has the children, where the children live with, that is the parent that will get sole custody. And that parent can control the situation of the children after divorce. And in many cases, the children are prevented or not permitted to see their other parent, their left behind parent. The judges, the courts decide the child should continue living with the parent that they were living with when the case is presented to family court.
So not just they don't punish a parent who kidnapped a child, but once the new household is established, a Japanese court gives custody to the kidnapper parent in most cases. To put it simply, whoever takes a child first, that person will keep the child. And like she mentioned, there is no system to investigate that, whether it was reasonable or not. I know sounds crazy, but this is coming from the idea that traditionally, children in Japan are considered as property of the household, not as individuals with rights. As soon as your children move to a new household, you become an outsider with no right to disturb the new one. So if you still try to get your child back, you might be arrested as a criminal, which actually happens in Japan, even if you are still married and have all the rights as a parent. This is quite harsh, isn't it?
In Australia, if a woman gets divorced, only 1% of mothers never see their children after divorce. But in Japan, If the father takes the children, or if the mother takes the children, the other parent can never meet their own children. Even I'm married, even if we have joint custody or we don't have joint custody, right now I am married, therefore I have joint custody with my husband, but I'm not meeting my children.
And if you're a foreign parent, what makes even harder for you may be that you have to leave Japan soon after the divorce, and being outside in Japan, it would be extremely difficult to get your child back.
いろいろ言うんですけどね、日本に居続けて、月1回会ったり、養育費を日本で働き続けながら払い続けたいみたいなことを言うんですけど、日本のビザっていう観点からすると許可は下りにくいので、非常に親権が自分にない状態で許可されるビザは基本ないので、だから基本的には帰るしかない。離婚したら日本に住み続けたいっていう場合だと、ビザの申請において日本人側の協力って結構重要になってくるんですよ。ビザの申請書を作成するにあたって、ある程度大人の対応でコミュニケーションが取れる状態じゃないと難しいので、離婚裁判になっちゃいましたってなった時に、日本人の配偶者ビザが結婚状態が破綻している状態だとうまく更新ができない場合もあるんですね。入籍はしてるけど2人の間の結婚の実態がないということで、配偶者ビザの更新ができなくなるリスクがあって、外国と日本側でやり取りしなきゃいけない。
子供がいた場合は、子供はもちろんその日本に残るケースが多い、
とは思います。日本に住んでいたら学校に行くライフスタイルとか友達いたりっていうこともあると思うので。
Another factor I want to bring up is the awareness of this issue, especially in Japan. Most people don't even recognize it, or even if they do, they don't think that's so serious, unless of course they actually become a victim.
普通にそんな会わなくちゃいけないっていう感じは思ってはいないです。
離婚はあくまでも夫婦の問題なので。
いや、知らなかったしとか。
いや、知らなかったです。
国内でもっと周知していかないと、議員さんも動いていただけないというのが現実なので、私も6年近くこの活動してますけれども、ほとんどタブー扱い、この問題タブーだと、先日 EU から決議が出たんですが、日本国内では全く相変わらず報道されないという状態でして。
Japanese media tend to reduce the issue, and quite often, which is also a big mistake, most media will talk about father, not parents. Most victims are father, indeed, but we also have mother who are deprived of any contact with their children. So it's not a gender issue, it's not a spouse dispute, it's a system which allows to abduct your children, and it seems that is not what Japanese media are willing to expose. Most Japanese people are not even aware of that situation, and the day they are confronted to that situation is too late because the children are not there anymore. Japanese people are the first victim because they're not informed.
Japanese people can't understand, and Australian people can't understand. They think, must be I did something wrong, but I met many other parents in my situation and the story is the same. So many people that it happened to that I have met in the last, since it happened to me, Japanese parents, it happens to mothers, it happens to fathers. These are all just normal people. And then one day suddenly their children are gone and nobody can help you.
警察は民事不介入という姿勢なので、親子間の話なので、これ日本人的な感覚なんでしょうね。誘拐とか拉致っていう言葉を使うのを非常に皆さんためらう。なので皆さん、連れ去りという少し柔らかい表現にしていますけども、刑法224条を見れば、誰なら誘拐にならないなら何も書かれてないですね。ということはこれ誘拐なんです。
So what happened? This is what the Japanese people and the Japanese media often assume, and they think it must have been necessary or justified. Actually, some lawyer said most of the clients claim that. I'm sure sometimes that's actually true and completely justified, but maybe sometimes not. And the biggest issue is this.
In the States and other countries, there needs to be a criminal investigation to demonstrate evidence of domestic violence. But we have seen in Japan make a statement, and that's the only thing that's needed for the court to support the claim, even without evidence. And I've even seen falsified evidence. And there are also even domestic violence shelters where they take in people who claim domestic violence. But I've spoken to a woman who had an actual claim of domestic violence by evidence. She went to a shelter, but she found that many of the women in the shelter, they did not actually have domestic violence. So it's questionable, and what is questionable is the investigation to obtain evidence. It doesn't seem to be happening.
この共同親権とか反対派も必ず言ってるんですよ。DV があった、虐待があったっていうことを言ってくるんですよ。でもその後にどれだけの別居親が DV や虐待で逮捕されたか、ほとんどないんですね。実は、親権停止とかっていう措置も今法的にできるんですよ。どれだけ本当にあるのかっていうのは非常に疑問です。
Taking children doesn't solve domestic violence. That's not a solution to domestic violence. And there was no domestic violence in my case. Yet, the same thing has happened to me. Is there really that much domestic violence in Japan? Is Japan such a violent country? I don't believe it.
I propose that there should be good investigation to demonstrate evidence, and then those cases should actually be dealt with as domestic violence. But without evidence, we can't presume the guilt of the other party. It's a very critical difference legally.
つい最近も3歳の子供をお母さんが放置して母子家庭で男と1週間遊びに行って死んでしまったということがございましたし、目黒でゆあちゃんという女の子はやはり虐待死、前のお父さんが良かった、会いたいと警察や児童相談所に行ったけど彼らを会わせようとしなかった。虐待している親に返すがために命を落とすということが起こってしまう。実はね、母子家庭の子供の虐待死事件って非常に多いんですね。
Another big factor in Japan is divorce lawyers who willingly help the kidnapper parents. Maybe you are wondering, why do they even support those parents? The reason number one, it's actually quite easy for them to win the case, as long as they got the child first. Two, they get incentive from a parent who wins the case, which is quite likely to happen. So at this point, why not take it? The money is almost guaranteed for the lawyer.
I would question, does that really put the interest of the child first? Arguably, it doesn't. Once money is involved and mixed into the equation, there are other potential objectives there.
離婚弁護士の離婚勝ちパターン、必ず勝てると。離婚相談をしに来た親に対してですね、最初に子供を連れ去ると子供の親権が取れてっていう育児がもらえますよ。
The lawyers have found this is a successful method to win. Everybody does it and they say it's okay, it's normal. And that's what happened with my husband. His lawyer, I guess, told him this is the way that you can win.
Some Japanese attorneys explaining how to abduct and get away with it. Seminar that was done in Paris a couple of years ago that was sponsored by the Japanese government, by the Japanese embassy. Notable Japanese family law attorney essentially explaining the steps you would need to take if you were trying to take your child from France to Japan and block having your child returned.
They are so aware of the issue that they can educate Japanese citizens living in France on how to use a French system to legalize an abduction to Japan.
When it comes to the impact on the child, study after study proves it's highly possible that's gonna affect their mental health a lot, which is really unfortunate and unfair, isn't it? The children have done nothing wrong actually, but still suffer from the consequence. And of course, not just kids who are going to suffer.
The parent who lost access has a big psychological impact, and even the parent who has the children also has a significant challenge because they're trying to raise the child or children as only one parent. And that could also be economic challenge as well, because many of the cases the mothers are raising the children, but they may not be working. There seems to be a very strong correlation between single parent families and poverty in Japan. So that's very unfortunate.
In terms of people being affected, obviously what we call the LBP, left behind parent, is going to be affected. But not only that parent, the whole family is going to be affected. Grandparents, brother, sister, cousin, everyone loses contact with the children when there's an abduction.
Do you know what? It's really sad. My mother said, I'm worried I'm going to die before I meet my grandchildren again. The cousins are like, why can't we meet our cousins? They didn't do anything wrong. Even if you accept I did something wrong, maybe I did something, maybe I'm a child abuser, but is my whole family or all of of my children's friends in Australia. Is everybody so bad? No. But my children have been cut off from Australia. They can't go to Australia anymore. They can't speak English. They can't talk to their relatives in Australia. And that's part of every day when my children look in the mirror, they're half Japanese. They know half of them is Australian, but they have to deny that part of their personality to make their father happy every day. They have to try to just be Japanese. I imagine he probably doesn't let them speak English anymore.
私も例外ではないんですけど、皆さんやはり精神的に相当ダメージを最初は食らってですね、多いの方がやはり鬱になってしまう。一気にやっぱり1、2ヶ月で10キロ痩せるなんて方はざらにいますね。そういった精神的、メンタル的な辛さっていうのがずっとついて回ると。
We deal with a parent who's lost access most of the time, almost all the time. It is a severe trauma. I would say one of the most severe possible traumas that a human being can experience is to lose their child. They're often looking for legal information or legal support, but clearly they also need psychological support. And I've supported quite a number of parents who are suicidal. They're thinking about suicide. I met one Japanese parent who eventually committed suicide because he lost his child. And there have been a number of cases of suicide. That is how severe the trauma is.
In 2010, we unfortunately lost 3 French fathers who committed suicide in Japan after the children were abducted. I would say it's very tough for parents. Some of them see specialists, like psychologists, but there is no way to forget about it. We have parents who lost their children 15 years ago. They're still fighting for it.
For me, I feel like both of my children died on the same day. You know, I've had to work through a lot of grief, but in terms of like the bigger picture, obviously this is harming Japan's reputation in the world.
我々日本人が今現代に子供を拉致している国、そういう人権無視する国の人間だというふうに見られる。これものすごく不利益になると思います。
It's going to give Japanese people a bad reputation. I would recommend to anybody, don't have children with a Japanese person. And that's really sad because my children are Japanese. If my children marry a Japanese person, my grandchildren could be abducted, or my children could abduct their own children. I don't want that for my children.
There was a warrant arrest for Carlos Ghosn because he flew from Japan. Ironically, you have a lot of warrant arrests against Japanese parents who abducted their children. Interpol, FBI, none of them work. Ironic that Japan use Interpol when they want to use it, but they will ignore warrant arrests from Interpol against the citizen who abducted children from overseas. Unfortunately, if there is no sanctions, there is no improvement. So until Japan gets financial sanctions, which could happen, Japan is not going to change.
北朝鮮拉致問題で協力してくださいなんて言えなくなってしまいますよね。まずお前のところから拉致をやめろと。世界の国々からの協力を得られないわけですから。
One of the ways it's really affecting Japan negatively is it creates problems and fear of relationship. Over the past couple of decades in Japan, people are getting married less, choosing not to have relationships or having them much, much later. An aging population in Japan, if population is declining, that's creating problems in the economy too. So there are a lot of ways I think it's interconnected with what the challenges are today in Japan.
I don't believe Japan is a society that wishes to harm children, but children are being harmed every day in Japan because of this problem. As a country, Japan is saying this is okay to do this to your husband or wife. It's okay to treat them like this. It's okay to treat the children like this. And we're just going to say it's not a problem. And as a country, that is not what a country should be saying.
Hey, thank you for watching. If you want to watch this type of content more, please consider making a small donation. That's gonna help me keep covering important social issues and trends in Japan.